Hey, what's up, my peeps? Hey, this is Strok'en with Pipes. Hey, I'm gonna give you guys a really quick and dirty rundown of setting up GSPro to work with Skytrak Plus. So using the Open Sky Plus setup. So real quick and dirty. And how to kind of do this. Hey, don't forget to subscribe. Give me a subscribe and hit that bell. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Let's talk about this. But I'm going to go through this real quick here. If you can follow these instructions, you should be able to get this up and running without any issues. So first thing I'm going to do is go through where you install Skytrak and GSPro. So I assume you have GSPro, you purchased GSPro, you have the information, you have your license, etc. You have that, it's installed somewhere. Most likely installation is under Windows program files or C program files, and then maybe GSPro here or wherever you installed it. Alright, so next thing we're going to do is you've installed Open Sky Plus. So if you started with the Open Sky Plus installation 1.0 or whatever, that installation is going to ask you for a path of where you want to install those files, right? Please understand, Open Sky Plus is really just a list of files, a couple DLLs, a couple config files that you have to put into the folder where you have Skytrak installed. So we're going to go through that real quick here. So first thing is, if you did the installation from 1.0, then you can upgrade it and change some of the files and some of the DLLs. But if you did that, most likely the default installation for that is C program files launch monitor. So this where 1.0 of Open Sky Plus would have installed the files. You'll end up with something like this, a folder like this under C program file launch monitor. And if you decided to install that somewhere else, you just got to know where you installed it, right? Now, when you do this, to get this working, you have to then take and copy these files, go right click, copy, and you have to then paste these files to the folder where you're running Skytrak from. Now, let's talk about Skytrak. You're installing Skytrak. When you're installing Skytrak, you have the ability to install Skytrak wherever you want to. The default for Skytrak is C program file Skytrak, right? So this is the default location for installing Skytrak. C program file Skytrak. All right. Now you don't want to do this because Windows virus protection, etc. It puts everything around C program file. So you'll end up with issues with that if you're not knowledgeable enough to understand how to control or set this up so that you don't have any issues with virus, etc. So when you're going through that installation, you can pick or create a new folder for wherever you want to install Skytrak, and you can label that installation and that folder maybe by a version number. So I'm giving you a good example, and this is where my installation is for Skytrak. So if I go see, I install mine with right here where I manage my stuff. So you can create your own folder, make it your name, make it Sim Room or Sim Software or whatever, and you can put those files under there. So I installed Skytrak. I got two versions. So the one version that's under Program Files, Skytrak, I'm pretty sure this is version 5.0. So this is version 5.0 of Skytrak, and my version 4.4.7, which I use for GSPro, I installed that and I picked my location, C, Pipes Manage, Skytrak. So this version is where my 4.4.7 is located. Now, once you know where you've installed Skytrak with the different versions, some people have named this folder Skytrak underscore or dash 4.447 or something, so that you know you can easily do that. You just got to know where you're installed, right? So you got find out first where you installed Skytrak and what version of Skytrak. Then what I did is, you got that installed. I created 2 shortcuts. So I have 2 shortcuts on my desktop at the bottom. One of the shortcuts I labeled this one here 4.47. So I labeled this one 4.7. That's the Skytrak for 4.7. That's the one that I can go into when I want to run it with GSPro. My other version of Skytrak over here, I've labeled Skytrak 5.0. This one, and I'm going to try to open one of these and show you the properties of this one, and we can see where this one is going. This one is pretty sure that this is the one that's going to, and actually I didn't want to run it, but let me stop it. I'm going to stop this, minimize it, etc. So it's probably doing an update. I haven't done it in a while. It may take a couple minutes. But anyway, I have 2 different shortcuts. I have a shortcut to 5.0 and a shortcut to 4.7. So ignore that. We'll come back to that. We're not going to worry about that right now. So we're going to go back to the location where you installed it and how to get GSPro going. So here's an example. You install 4.47 in its own folder. You pick the folder. You have it. You have that location. You look. No. Alright. So you have that location. To get GSPro working, you want to know where you install Skytrak. So in this case, this is 4.47. I installed it here, right? Now, to get GSPro working, all you have to do now is we're going to go to the location where you unpack the OpenSky Plus files, right? So if you started with 4.4, 1.0, if you started with OpenSky Plus 1.0, that might have put in a folder called Launch Monitor. To get this working and to have it in the right spot, this is the things you have to do. First off is you have to take these files from OpenSky Plus, right? You have to take these files, copy those files, and you have to paste this into the Skytrak folder. In this case, this is the Skytrak folder. You then would paste them into this folder, and you'll end up with the Beep INEX folder, and underneath that you'll have all of the files needed for OpenSky Plus. Now, 2 things to be aware of. You've done that. You've made sure you've copied those files underneath your Skytrak folder of the appropriate version. Right now, this only works with version 4.47 or prior, right? The most stable right now is 4.4.7 because that's the version where they've taken out some bugs and got everything working, and that's the most stable. So you want to have the Skytrak version 4.47. You take the Beep INEXE folder, copy it to your Skytrak folder. You'll end up, like I said, underneath Skytrak, you'll end up with Beep INEXE folder. Now, here's the kicker. Underneath that folder, underneath the Beep, you have something called plugins. You want to go into the plugins folder, and you got OpenSky Plus, and you want to go into OpenSky Plus, right? And there's a couple config files you want to do. First one I'm going to talk about is settings. So on the settings.config, you want to open this file and verify and make sure. You can just open this with Notepad. Like Notepad is built into Windows. It's on all Windows PCs. So you want to open that in Notepad, right? And when you open that in Notepad, what you want to verify, you want to verify that the log path for where Skytrak is installed is correct. So in my case, this is looking at C Price Managed Skytrak B plugins OpenSky. So that you want to make sure that this is pointing to the right location of where you have the OpenSky installed. You want to make sure that your launch monitor is Skytrak, and you want to make sure the launch monitor path is pointing to the location where you install Skytrak 4.47. In this case, this is my 4.47 version. You have to have this stuff pointing to the right spot, and then the plugin path also has to be correct. You have those things correct with the new location. The other things are you can turn on and off, like your shot confidence of normal or whatever. You can have on with your mode switch to true. But these paths have to be correct and pointing to the right location with where you install. Once you have that set correctly, there's another config file that you can manage and edit. Right? You go back to the OpenSky Plus folder underneath the Skytrak version, and there's another one. So if we go back to Skytrak, we go into the beat, we go into plugins, go into OpenSky Plus, right? You got your settings config, and then underneath there's another folder called plugins. This one, and then you got GSPro OSP, and then this folder, there's another setting file called plugin settings JSON. This one, we're going to open again with Notepad, right? And this one has a couple settings for you. One, it has a setting in here for how to check for connection to GSPro. So mine is on a retry of every, I believe it's 15 seconds or something like that, right? Every 15 seconds. And then you have your distance to putt mode value. Mine is set to 10. What that means is when I get within 10 yards of the green or the flag, I'm going to go into putt mode. It's going to automatically put my system into putt mode. I use 10 yards. You can put it at 20 or 25 or whatever. And then the last thing you want to do is if you use 10, which is the most convenient, so now you can get those delicate little flop shots or those delicate little chips when you short side yourself on the green and you want to hit really good wedge shot. It'll go into putt mode and it'll pick up those short sensitive shots a lot better. You want to do the exact same thing on the GSPro settings on your club ball bag mapping, and you change putter to be 10 yards on there also. That means that whenever you get within 10 yards, GSPro will automatically go into putt mode so that you can then hit those delicate shots. Just remember these two files, right? After you do the installation, if you put everything in the right folder, in the right Skytrak folder, you have this plugin settings config file, and you also have the settings config file that is under the OpenSky Plus. Once you set these and make these correct and pointing to the right location, everything else should work and you should be good and dandy. Once you do that, when you run Skytrak, after doing that, you will end up with a black box down at the bottom representing that OpenSky Plus is working, right? And then within this, you can click this to bring up another screen. And also within those two config files I was showing you, when you can turn on logs and shipping. So this would then turn on logging and you can see all of that detail and be able to identify when there's an issue or what the issue is. In those same folders, and I'll go back to those folders, there's log files that are being created that is capturing what it's doing and what it's trying to do, right? So in the Beep INX folder under OpenSky Plus, you have this log text file. This file here you can use to identify or to show people that may be wanting to help you resolve an issue. You can also open this file with Notepad, and it basically is keeping track of everything that's going on and building a log so it'll have information in there about issues or why something failed. There might be one other, let me see if there's another log file. Sorry about that, I'm just trying to do a quick little video on this. Let me go back one. Yeah, so that's the log file. I don't have it turned on now, and I'll go back and turn that on. But when you have that, your logging turned on, this file right here would then have that detail in there within any issues, etc. So, all right, hey guys, there you go, down and dirty, real quick, how to set up and get OpenSky Plus working with GSPro.